Kerwin Brown here at IBIE, and this is another edition of On a Roll. And I'm here with Rick Oleshak and with AB Mauri, and we're just going to talk a little bit.
Let's do it.
I like to start these out with some either or. So, cupcake or brownie.
I tell you what, they're both really good if they're done right, just like a nice fudge brownie.
Right.
But I will say, in the best words of our friend and our ambassador, Duff Goldman, I didn't know about the cupcake where you take the bottom half off
and then
put it on
over.
Top, and you make the sandwich out of it. How brilliant is that?
That might be my favorite.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I was going to cake or pie.
There's something about key lime pie and growing up in the Southeast.
Yeah, I like that. Baseball, football, or soccer?
Easy.
Baseball.
National pastime. I'm a baseball guy.
Yeah, and you're a St. Louis guy, so...
I'm a Pirates fan, which is really difficult, but we have good pitching, no hitting. But
So, and favorite baked good?
You know what? Growing up, we had some Swedish rye bread up in New York with my grandparents. That one's really good. My mom would make these cookies called, I think some people call them magic cookie bars, but Hello Dollies, with like
Hello Dollies.
Eagle brand milk and chocolate chips and coconut and all that, graham cracker crust. So good.
We
so
had
good.
a name for those. I can't remember what it was, but we had a name for those. I like to talk about kind of path to baking. So if you looked at your LinkedIn profile, you didn't start in baking.
No,
There's some NASCAR in there. There's a lot of Anheuser-Busch.
Yep.
And for a while now in the baking industry. So tell us, why baking?
Yeah, I mean, in this industry, there's a lot of generation to generation. I don't have that.
Right.
I came from outside, but it was a great opportunity. Spent 13 plus years at Anheuser-Busch on the beer side. But there is that little fermentation thing that goes, beer to, baking and all those sorts of things. So, it was a great opportunity to get in with an awesome company, and we've had a lot of fun along the way.
Right. You stayed, your longest part of your career has been in baking.
Not yet.
Not yet.
A couple of years. I'm 11, almost 12 now, so I got another year and a half.
So why baking? What is it about the baking industry that now that you've been in it for a little while that you love?
Well, I mean, I was on the CPG side with beer, selling Stella Artois and Michelob Ultra and some of those great beer brands. But when you go to B2B baking, part of my thinking was B2B doesn't mean business to boring. You can have a lot of fun, right? You can create some image, just as you would with Sports Illustrated and GQ Magazine, Million Baking News, or commercial baking. So there's a way to make the industry fun and attractive, and it's a great industry. Look at all the people in here. There's great stories to be told. So I'm really blessed to be a part of it.
Yeah, it is fun. And well, we're on the stage, and we're going to talk about that a little bit of some of your crazy creative ideas, your out of box, which you love to do. So, funny story. I love to people tell me maybe a funny story about somewhere in your career. You're like, this happened.
Something went wrong.
Yeah, something went wrong.
Yeah, you don't always like to talk about it, but here's one. Early in my career, I worked on a 3-on-3 basketball tour called Hoop It Up. There's a series in the U.S. called Gus Macker across the Midwest, but they would go around the world. This is back in the early 90s, and I'm starting, don't add up my age here at this point. But I remember we were playing in Spain, and they're like, hey, this is way before AI, right? Before your phones, you could check real quick.
Right.
And I was looking up translations for team, put like team, division, team name. And I put a name there. I can't even remember what it was. And I got in trouble for it because the translation was the horses that lead the carriage, a team, like a team of horses, not basketball teams. So in this world of AI, man, I'm like, thank you so much.
You need a little bit better translation.
But I remember that. It just sticks in my head. Yeah.
We, again, on the stage here at IBIE, Rock and Pint.
Yeah.
As one of the show owners, we love experiences. And you came to us before the 22 show and said you want to do an experience. Yeah. So why? Why would you invest in that and do that and have a passion for that? So,
well, first of all, we only get together every 3 years in this forum. Yeah. And I'm like, networking is so key. Getting back to people maybe you don't get a chance to see on an annual basis. But it's so important to have that. This is like a huge family. Yeah. It's 20,000 people. But it still is, right? I mean, there's a uniqueness to it. So we thought it was important to do that. We brought in Duff Goldman and said, hey, Duff, do you want to bring your band back? And he goes, I've got a band called Foie Gras, and it's a band of chefs. And we're like, do it. So we did it, and it was it was an authorized but not sponsored event last time. So we came back again this time and said, let's go bigger, make it an official IBIE event. Let's pull in Wang Chung, and there you have it.
Right. And it is, we just met the band. And that was, I'm like, glowing about how fun that was. And I think it's going to be a great event. And, you know, they say, certainly trade shows are business and they're networking and all that, but they're also experiences. And this is, I think, going to be a really, really fun experience for us. So
absolutely.
Thanks for championing that
for
IBIE and for our brand, and we love it. So thank you very much for spending some time.
You got it.
And we'll catch up soon.
Thanks to you.
Thanks for being a part of another episode of On a Roll, and we'll see you soon.